Now, obviously, what's been big in the news here in Rhode Island has been the addition of Norwegian Air providing direct flights to and from Ireland. So I'm very excited to welcome our first guest today, Niall MacCarthy, who is the director of the Cork Airport, who happens to be over here and in the studio. So Niall, come on in.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming in today, sir.
No problem.
Appreciate it. So, as I was saying, I'm going to put you over here in the red.
Okay.
This Norwegian Air announcement here in Rhode Island has been huge, with the direct flights over to Ireland and Cork. What's the reaction been over there with folks wanting to come here?
We're really excited about it. We've never had transatlantic flights in Cork Airport. We've been an airport for 55 years. We've flown to Britain. We've flown to many places in continental Europe. Never had transatlantic traffic. So being able to fly directly to Rhode Island in July is really exciting.
Oh, no kidding. And what do you hear from folks? Obviously, here in Rhode Island, we have such a high per capita population of Irish immigrants. Are folks just excited to come over here and see everything that Rhode Island has to offer?
Absolutely, yeah. Myself and Dara, my head of aviation marketing, were here last night. We had a buzz of a time. So there's a great excitement about being able to fly directly into Rhode Island, not having to go to other airports, not having to go to Logan and come down. So they're going to sell really well. We were up with your CEO of TF Green Airport today, Iftikhar, and he's a really visionary, inspiring guy. And we were very excited. We're going to help market in Ireland with him, and he'll help us market over here to get your people into Cork. And just to tell you a bit about Cork, we're down in the south part of the country. We're really pretty. We're the gateway to the Wild Atlantic Way, which is the coastline up the west of Ireland. All the fish, all the fresh stuff, nice restaurants, nice pubs. And then if you go east, you have all the castles and all the real built heritage of Ireland. That's called Ireland's Ancient East. So you can pick either one, whichever you like.
Well, that was going to be my next question for you. Is, folks know about clearly Dublin, but you've just given us sort of an overview of Cork. Got Kinsale down there. Just so many wonderful places to visit. What would you recommend to folks? You just kind of gave a little overview, but if you fly into Cork, if you had an itinerary of 3 to 5 days, what would you say to do?
3 to 5 days. You fly into Cork. You look at what's called the English market, which is a fresh food market, open every day in Cork City. You go to Kinsale. Kinsale is very like Newport. It's twinned with Newport. Somebody said Newport is Kinsale on steroids, and that's a good description. It's bigger, it's potentially a little bit better, but they're very similar. You have the yachts, you have the restaurants. I would then go to West Cork. I'd go to Garnish Island or Cape Clear, which are little islands off the coast, and then I would go probably to the Ring of Kerry in Killarney. Around by the Rock of Cashel, which is an ancient castle.
Yeah.
And then I'd come back to Cork Airport and fly home. That's probably about 5-6 days.
Okay. Now, what are you going to do when you're here in Rhode Island?
This is my first visit to Rhode Island, but my first of many. So it was work. It was pleasurable work, but it was work. So we met with all your tourism people. We're in Newport last night, as I said. We're up in the airport today. Tonight we're going out with more tourism people, so we're creating the context for marketing in both directions. And tomorrow we fly back, but we're going to be back a couple of times before the inaugural flight in July.
Fantastic. What do you think of Newport?
Love Newport. Very high end. We were in one of the mansions this morning looking at it, and it was like the Vatican. There was the ceilings and the fireplaces. It was a Vanderbilt mansion we were in this morning. So it was really good. I was blown away by Newport. I'm not sure I could afford it in midsummer, but I'd come back off peak. But we're looking forward to Providence tonight.
Fantastic. Obviously, there's a lot to offer in Newport. As you said, high end to just the beaches and the natural beauty of it.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's so much to offer. Let's talk a little bit about Cork. I mean, what does this mean to have, the direct transatlantic flight jobs and economic growth for Cork? What does this mean?
We were very proud. Norwegian have hired a class of pilots in Cork. So they've hired 20 local pilots, the first thing. They're hiring crew here as well.
Yep.
They're buying Boeing aircraft, which is great for jobs in the States. But really tourism is the spin-off.
Yes.
So be tourism in both directions. Irish people coming to here to Rhode Island, US visitors coming to Cork. Every US visitor to Ireland spends an average €950, which is about $950. And that's apart from their ticket. So it's very good for economy. It's going to grow restaurants, it's going to grow hotels, hospitality trade, car hire, and so on. And it'll do that here as well.
And you talk about the economic impact. The flights are very reasonable on Norwegian Air. I mean, how do you see that? I mean, is it just going to make the travel explode between Ireland and Rhode Island?
Absolutely, yeah. And people here in the States will be familiar with Southwest Airlines, and they only fly domestically. Our equivalent of those is Ryanair.
Yes.
And Ryanair started off back in the 80s, and they went low cost, and they have brought down the price of travel for everyone so that we can afford to go to Rome, we can go to Paris for less than we would have done 30 years ago. So Norwegian, along with WestJet, along with WOW Air, are the first of the low-cost operators in the transatlantic corridor. Already, the legacy carriers are reacting. They're bringing down their fares. So anyone who's booking Aer Lingus has noticed the fares coming down a couple of €100 in the last week. So everyone wins. So the competitors, the legacy airlines, are bringing down their fares. Norwegian are low cost, €69 lead-in fares one way. So it's good for everyone. Competition, low cost, more choice, more seats.
That is true. And one of the things that we've seen recently, Neil, is an explosion of U.S. businesses in Ireland. I mean, what is this? We're talking about TF Green and Cork, but talk to us a little bit about the landscape over there of what you see of American businesses going over to Ireland. I mean, is this just opening doors?
Yeah, we have an affinity with America. We were one of the first immigrant groups to come here in large numbers. We think like you think like us. We share common language, although different accents. But we've great empathy between our people. So when US entities are looking to locate abroad, we are the gateway to Europe. We speak English. We think like you. Our tax system is favourable, and so we can be the gateway to France. We can be the gateway to Germany for American companies. No longer, I'm afraid, the gateway to the UK, because the UK is exiting the EU, which is a big sad for everyone involved. But we are still the gateway to continental Europe for American companies.
What is the impact of that? We're looking at it here across the pond, so to speak. How has Brexit impacted Ireland?
Not yet. It's only been announced. It hasn't gone through. It's definitely bad. It's definitely bad. In terms of Ireland and Northern Ireland have had an open border since the end of the Troubles. So there's talk now about immigration control and customs control. So you could be back to border checks between Southern Ireland and Northern Ireland. Nobody wants that. At the moment, there's what's called a common travel area between Ireland and Britain, which is without official passport controls. It could be passport controls. So at its worst, every truck crossing between Ireland and the UK will have to be opened, will have to have documentation. So it feels like going back 50 years.
Wow. And is that really just dominating conversation, political discourse right now in terms of how this is going to look?
It is, yeah. It's mostly downside, but in every crisis there's upside.
What's the upside?
The upside is duty-free. Duty-free will be potentially back between Ireland and the UK. So when you're going to Britain, you can buy your perfume duty-free. The upside, we think, is a lot of British companies are going to relocate to Ireland. Because if you're a British company, you're largely dealing with France and Germany. You're going to need to stay in the EU, and you'll want an English language company that's or country that's pro-business. So we see a lot of British companies that don't agree with this Brexit moving to Ireland. So that's the upside.
Very interesting. So
always upside in every crisis.
You gotta look to the sunny side of things, and we look forward to talking with you more. We had Iftikhar in here when the announcement was made. They just announced this week Norwegian now has a flight from TF Green to Norway, so they're expanding. And Iftikhar told us about his plans to fan out into Europe, and then also look for additional growth opportunities here. I mean, very impressive. I mean, was that part of it when you spoke with him about what's happening here in Rhode Island?
He shared his strategy. I've got to say, I was genuinely impressed by Iftikhar. You can see his passion. He's only there a few months. He's going to grow it. He named a number of new routes, didn't name them in specific terms, but what he's targeting. And I feel that he's going to make a success of the Norwegian traffic here in Rhode Island. And the state is going to see the tourism benefits as European, Irish and British tourists, Scottish tourists come in big numbers. Because remember, it's not only Cork, it's Dublin, it's Shannon, and it's Belfast, and it's Edinburgh, and there's more to come.
Now, the governor did say when that was kicked off that she's flying over to Edinburgh this summer. She got a little bit of pushback here when she was at the announcement. What were you mentioning in the green room before about the teddy bear in Cork Airport?
We have a good social media guy. His name is Kevin Cullinan, and it's a true story that a kid lost their teddy bear in Cork Airport, and he said, "How am I going to reunite this with its owner?" And so he went on social media and was lost teddy bear. And then day 2, lost teddy bear was playing the piano in the departures area. Day 3, lost teddy bear was up in the air traffic control. Day 4, over in the fire station. And so it created a big following, and it was genuinely lost teddy bear stuff. But we were getting hits from China and Russia and Turkey. And by day 7, the owner of the teddy bear, who was a kid in Holland, who had been over with he was half Irish, Irish grandparents, had contacted the airport and said, "That's my teddy bear." It's white and pink street.
So the owner of the teddy bear collected the teddy bear after your big social media push.
No, even better than that. So contacted, say that was my teddy bear. I'm back home now in Holland. So we got our lingus to fly the teddy bear over, and then there was a second story with the teddy bear being reunited with a cute kid. And it sounds like it was construed or made up or contrived. It was actually
this is a true
it's a
story.
genuine story, but it was a win-win because it got us in Cork and Ireland loads of publicity.
So take a look for that. That's a hilarious story at Cork Airport. This teddy bear, a little incident that had a happy ending. And so you said you met with other tourism officials here and you got to go out in Newport last night. What did you hear about that you think is going to be a big draw for folks looking to come to Rhode Island? I mean, we all know about Newport, great culinary scene here in Providence. What are other things that you're going to take back with you or that you want to see yourself?
Rhode Island is an undiscovered gem, in my opinion, maybe well discovered here in the States, but it's probably not as well known abroad as it should be. So what I was heartened to hear from your tourism people is that they want to work with us on social media to promote Rhode Island in Ireland. Our colleagues in Dublin will also help promote it as well. And so a place like Block Island, whatever. Which
Yes, Block Island.
Brilliant, but not known about abroad.
But will soon be.
Will soon be, and you want to pour loads of tourists into it. So probably Newport, I won't say has enough tourists in midsummer, but you want to extend the season and do it off peak. But there's other undiscovered gems that need to be found here for the international.
Yes, there's the South County, there's Narragansett beaches, South County beaches, Watch Hill, Taylor Hill has a house there that everyone, Taylor Swift, excuse me, I had a little Freudian slip. Everyone likes to come to Rhode Island, and we're very excited that Cork Airport is now going to be part of this. Flights from TF Green direct to Cork, direct to Dublin, other areas as well, again, fanning out into Norway. But we hope to be able to be in touch with you to hear what you're hearing from folks over there when they come over here. We have folks Skype in all the time. It's great. The world is just getting smaller.
It is.
It is absolutely getting smaller. So hopefully, if another teddy bear's lost, we'll learn about it, or if stuff's happening here on this side. Now, you said you plan on coming back for additional trips before?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a bit of work to be done to make sure everything flows nicely. I was really heartened. The guys showed us around the airport today, and there's just
a little closer over here.
A little 10-minute walk to the train station.
Yes.
And that was great. So we were finding our logistics. They have work to do up there in terms of their customs hall and so on, which they're going to be starting shortly.
Yes.
So we're going to partner through on both sides, because when we win, you win. Those seats need to be filled with Irish people and with US people. So we're going to be working hard.
Yes.
And I'll be delighted to Skype in and talk to you over the next few months.
Fantastic. Now, how much longer are you going to be in Rhode Island for?
Flying back tomorrow.
Oh, okay, very quick.
So tonight is our last night.
Last night. Well, enjoy your last night in Rhode Island. Neil, I appreciate your coming in. Again, the director of Cork Airport here to talk with us about the impact of Norwegian Air, direct flights between Ireland and here. Flights, they went so quickly. Did you know how quickly they went?
Yeah, in 48 hours, all the $69 flights sold out. I think it was 2,000 of the Cork ones, 20,000 overall sold in 48 hours.
I mean, if that just goes to show, just the appetite for reasonable air travel between the two countries, it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing.
We look forward to it. So, Neil, thank you. I know you've got
a
tight schedule. I appreciate your coming in today. I'll let you scoot around the corner back here.
Thank you.
Did you see the green drinks that were made in the lifestyle section? We have a little overlap here between the lifestyle section and the news and politics. Molly O'Brien did have a green drink segment with St. Patrick's Day coming up. But that was Niall MacCarthy with Cork Airport, who came in to talk with us again after the big announcement here about Norwegian Air having direct flights between TF Green and Ireland, and how he said he sees that impacting Ireland with Irish visitors coming over here, Americans going over there, and again, reasonable airfares, and with TF Green looking to expand even further. Stay tuned for more news out of TF Green, but we hope to talk with Neil via Skype over in Ireland to ask him what's taking place over there in the coming